So I'll start with introducing myself. My name's Wray. A lot of you might know me, or some of you might know me from running that man chat nonsense, right? But I'm not going to talk about that, right? So I'm fucking sick fed up talking, I swear a lot, sorry, about mental health, because it's all I do all day. Talk about mental health constantly, depression, anxiety, and that's my life. I look after about 180 people a week who want to come to me about their mental health. So you guys can fuck off, you're going to listen to my problems. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm from a little town called Fraserburgh. Yeah, that's where it begins. Yeah, everybody's got their issues. Yeah, Fraserburgh's famous for fish and heroin, but good try. I don't live there a lot, so I don't like fish. It's good, you know, I laugh. It's good. It's allowed. It's integral. It moves. Yeah, right. So I want to talk to you tonight about something that's really important to me. It's something that I've found in the last couple of months. It's integral to my growth as a human being, and it's communication, and it's how we communicate as people and in society. So I'm going to tell you a quick story from way back when I used to be an oil worker. I used to have a real job before I started getting paid nothing for this. So I worked for an oil company for about 8 years. I'm not allowed to name them for legal reasons, but it was BP, they can fuck off. Yeah, boo, thank you very much. Yeah. Not because of, you know, the social and economic things and all what they do to the environment. This actually, that's all I care about. So I worked for them for 8 years, and when I was coming home one day from a really good trip offshore, when you get home from a trip offshore, you've been off the drink for like a good 3 weeks. You're buzzing, it's the best job in the world, and you get that first pint and sweet nectar, right? And it's, oh God, it's the only time drink feels good, right? And I had a couple of pints, so I bought a bottle of wine for the bus home. So I was buzzing, so I was going to go back on the bus, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to drink the wine, I'm going to be an absolute wreck by the time I get home. Everything's going to be sunny and rosy, but I get on the bus and I looks at my coat and it was a corked bottle. Disaster, right? And I didn't know what to do, and I turned around, and out of nowhere, this beautiful apparition, that's maybe about 80 years old, she had a corkscrew in her bottle. Only in the northeast would somebody be prepared for a bottle of red wine on a bus in this neck of the woods. So she goes, I can help you with that. And I was like, oh, fantastic, give me your bottle opener. So I gets it, and I opens the bottle, and I didn't have a glass, you know, it was in one already, so I just started carrying it. And then she had a plastic cup in her bag, she was a legend, so I just started talking about that. But we got chatting, and she started talking to me about her grandson, and how her grandson had had really bad difficulties in his life, and he had cancer at a young age. And then she told me about her son, and how her son had just recently lost his job, and how he was really struggling to find work. And then she told me about her daughter, and how her daughter had lost a child, and she shared all these things with me. And I shared a lot with her as well. It was just through open conversation, and for some strange reason I just felt myself opening up to this old woman. Might have been the drink, right? So before I knew it, we decided at the end of the bus journey, when we got pulling into Fraserburgh, to swap a key ring. And this was just a kind of weird, like, nice thing to do. She had a Gala Bingo keyring, and I had like a really old ferret's foot thing. Yeah, sorry, right? I had that, so we swapped them, and I thought, this is lovely. But as I was walking home, I noticed that there was a key on hers. So I thought, shit. But I remember she'd said she lived in Forloth Avenue, so I thought, right, well, I know where, because she kind of lives. And Fraserburgh's a small community, people know each other. I thought, I'll knock doors until I find where she lives, and then I'll be able to give her a key back. It might be the key to her shed, it might be a back door key, who knows. So I went around, and it took me a couple of houses before one of the guys on the street said, yeah, that's it. Well, her name was Ethel, and she lived down at the bottom of the street. You knew the number, perfect. So in I goes to her door, and bangs on the door. No answer. And I thought, she went to the pub. Right, that was my first instinct. And I thought, no, she said she was going home. So I looked through her front window, and she was on the floor. And I thought, oh no, and I'm banging on the window, trying to get her attention. And then eventually I thought, no, I can't do anything here. So I phoned up an ambulance. They broke in the door with the police. She'd had a minor cardiac arrest. And then she had to go to hospital. She got treated, but she survived, right? And now, when you think about it, realistically, the only reason she survived is because of a conversation. We talked and we shared, and because she'd shared where she lived and what her family had done, and etc., I had just the tiniest little bit of information, enough to go round to her door with a key that would swap through a convo. And that's something that I'm starting to bring back into society as a whole, and this is a perfect example for it, right? Because we're losing touch, aren't we? As a society, do you not think we are losing touch a little bit? We're losing empathy through mobile phones. We're always on them. That's social media. You know what I mean? If you want your hole, just swipe right. Right? I never get my hole. What we do now as a society is we're never up or down, and I feel that because of conversation is lacking in society, what we tend to do now is we tend to get our emotions in micro doses, and they come from our tablets and our computers and our phones. So if you're feeling a bit down, oh, I don't like myself today, what I'll do is I'll quickly edit a photo to the best perfection I can think of, and post it online, and I'll see all them love hearts coming in, and oh, that instant admiration. So what you've done there is, you've literally just plateaued yourself. You've not went down. You've just picked yourself up just enough. But you've not really felt that high, have you? Because nobody's told you to love you, really. It's just a little click on a fucking screen, right? So that's what we're doing. We're losing empathy through just never feeling highs and lows. And the only way we can feel empathy as a society is through conversation face to face with people. And this is something that I will really, it's integral to your life. And I'm not speaking about just me or Sid or yourself, John, right? The bloody legend. Good. It's everyone. And for people to think that, oh, here's just some madman for Fraser telling me I should do something. I'm telling you, the minute you stop communicating with people on a face-to-face level, I can guarantee you, all these things they talk about in the press about mental health and how it's affecting everybody these days, if you want to cut the curve and try and beat mental health, start the conversation. Start speaking to everybody you meet. Because there's this lack of trust in society because everybody wants to live their best life online. Oh yeah, I'm living a good life. But are you though? Would you not rather live a better life in real life? Like, I don't put up photos to get likes on Facebook. I put up things with the stupidest captions. I suit hats. Right? It's the simplest things because I'm bald, right? But what I do now is I do that and I throw it up and I don't care if people like it or no. Notifications switched off. My phone goes off at 8:30 every night. It just gets tossed. Because what I'd rather do is go knock my neighbour's door and say, how's things going with you? What's going on? What's happening? Fuck all, I'm here. Where do you work?
I don't.
You don't? Fucking unemployed, I'm a drug dealer, hell yes! You got a university?
Yeah.
What are you studying?
Media.
Media? Oh no, you're going to be one of them. Do you want to be a journal?
Oh god, no.
Oh, I was going to say, because we're all going to kill you in this room, right? No, but like, but that's what it's, so media, what brought you into that?
I like to do photography.
Yeah, so you want to go more into, what kind of photography do you want to do when you come out?
I really don't know.
You really don't know? What's
No.
your favourite type right now? Portraits? Landscapes?
Just whatever.
Just whatever you think is
whatever's pretty.
emotionally visual to you.
Yeah.
Right, so what I've gathered there is you're a student, you're doing media, you love photography, and you're probably more on the creative artist side of things because you just take things as you see them and just like, oh, snapshot.
I also feel very personal right now.
That's okay. But what I will say is, I've just learned a little bit about you as a person. And that's great for me, because I've met a person, a real person. I haven't went and looked at your photos on Instagram because I don't care. Because you are far more valuable as a person than an Instagram post. And I want everybody to take that away tonight. I want everybody in this room to start thinking about the conversations they have. Because the only way you can beat anxiety and depression and stress is through conversation. If you take yourself out of your comfort zone to speak to somebody, if you're anxious as a person, I guarantee you within about 3 seconds or 4 seconds or a minute in that conversation, you'll start to realise you've got nothing to be scared about. It's only the media that tells you you should be scared. It's only the things you read online that tell you you should be scared. It's only the government that tell you you should. I sound like a mad conspiracy theorist, but it's true, right?
Yeah.
It's true. These things are designed to keep us as a society in a bubble that helps them. And the minute that us as a society starts bonding together and loving each other and having conversations, they'll worry. They'll be going, fuck, how do we control the sheep? Right? That is, it's true. You think Brexit's actually happening? You're an idiot. No, if you think that's not designed to just contain you as a population, because everybody's talking about it, everybody's watching it on the news, it's the most alarming thing in our society right now. But realistically, people are dying on the streets of homelessness. People are committing suicide daily. 2.5 people kill themselves every day in Scotland. 2.5, right? This is insane. People aren't dealing with their mental health, and do you know why? It's because you're too busy being distracted by nonsense. Get out in the street, speak to someone, have a conversation. It doesn't need to be nothing major. See, when you go to the shop tomorrow, I do this all the time, right? I'll just go in and ask them, sometimes it's just a benign question. Have you got any Tetley? And they'll go, yeah, I do. And I walk away from that going, ha, smashed it. Right? I've had a conversation, I'm killing it today. Right? And I think, when I go talking around, because I said I don't like speaking about mental health, it always comes back to it. And I said at the start of this conversation I wasn't going to talk about mental health, but it's because I wanted to start with a conversation. And I think a lot of times at these events, you'll have people coming up, and I heard, was it DID or something somebody was talking about earlier on? Yeah. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And then the lesson from the problems with the NHS and stuff, fantastic, right? And you get to hear these stories. What I would suggest is, Finn, you're sitting there, how's about everybody has a story, but then you have another one, an offset thing, where everybody can chime in on a story. So if somebody's sitting there having a conversation like this, people are allowed to just put their hand up and go, just whilst you're saying that. Because I wouldn't mind if you guys asked me some questions just now, because that fills my time. Yeah, perfect, go for it.
Why are you holding a charger?
Because, do you know why? Because I need it to charge my phone, ironically. No, it's because I'm scared of losing. Yeah, I'm really bad for losing it. It's not even the same. See how it's like not even the right plug for the cable? It's because I keep losing plugs. So you've learned something about me through conversation, asking a question. Anybody else, Baron?
I'll give him a plug.
Oh, yeah, I've just plugged Finn. Here you go. Somebody on the back there.
Yeah, does anyone mind if I go to the bathroom or can you make
Yeah, go for it. No, here, everybody has to shout. But that's it. What's integral to society and what's missing is that empathy, it's that communication, and that's trusting that some people in this life aren't out to get you. So we want to start this thing, and I'm going to start banging on about it more and more on social media, which is a nightmare, but I have to. But events like these, I want to start this thing called Meet in the Street on a Wednesday night. So imagine this, if I could get enough people's attention, so I will try and use my social media platform for that, because we've got like 18,000 people in Aberdeen on there, right? But if we could get Meet in the Street to happen at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday night, everybody in their house switched off their phone, switched off their TV, walked outside with a cup of tea, well maybe do it in the summer, right? Walked outside with a cup of tea and just went like this. Oh yeah. How many people here know their neighbours in a block of flats? Know everybody? Yeah, you do. Who doesn't know their neighbours at all? The majority of the room, right? And you probably think it's because your neighbours they're all paedophiles, right? But they're just humans that you haven't communicated with. And why? Who grew up in an age where you had street barbecues?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that? When everybody in the street got out and you'd speak to each other and you would all meet. And remember when you used to leave your door unlocked?
My mum still leaves her door unlocked.
Okay.
I'm from Bray in Shetland. Nobody locks their door where I come from.
Oh, you're from Bray in Shetland?
I'm from Bray, yeah.
I know it very well.
Do you?
Yeah, Martin Watts, my cousins, Caroline Lawrenson.
I think I know.
Well, see, Caroline Watt, for bides in a tune,
Uh-huh.
she bides beside the hairdressers up for the Legion.
Okay, yeah.
Aye, see?
Yes, yeah.
See? Just conversation.
There we go, yeah.
Right, before you know it, me and him be gone, do you drink down at the wheel?
What, sorry?
Do you go to the wheel when you're going for a night out?
Which one's that, sorry?
The DeWheel's the one just down from Captain Flint's.
Uh,
Kind of really cheesy one.
that's not the Thule.
No, not the Thule, the DeWheel with the light up dance floor.
Oh, the wheel bar,
Aye,
yeah. I've been there a
aye.
couple of times. It's actually better since they brought in the dance floor. It used to be shite.
Yeah.
It's slightly less shite now.
No. Okay. See, but what's your name?
My name's Hannah.
Hannah, nice to meet you.
Nice
So,
to meet
now what's just happened there is, me and Hannah have been a very quick connection, right? Because I've been up to Shetland loads of times. And the only way that's happened is because we've talked to each other face to face.
And when are you bringing man chat to Shetland?
When am I bringing my chat to Shetland? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a bit busy.
You should give that a try, 'cause I think they need it.
Yeah, I know, we get a lot of people. I mean, we've just moved up to Fraserburgh, in that neck of the woods.
Blinded.
And then we're moving down to Montrose, but I'm only one man. I'm amassing a team.
Oh well.
One of my new trustees is in the building.
Hello.
It is getting there, but we've just started the women chat group as well.
Yeah, I was
so
seeing that. I meant to come on Monday
We realised how
and
important
make
it
it,
was
so.
for women to have their own space.
I
And
might try and
that's
come
the
tomorrow,
next
but
one. Yeah, pop along.
There's a space for me that I've looked for.
Yeah, and do you know what happens at those meetings? It's not, a lot of people wonder what goes on. It's conversation.
Well, that's fine by
It's
me
as
then.
simple as that's where it all
So it
stems
seems
from.
to be.
And see, just chatting and getting, see when you see empathy in a person, somebody cares about you, that comes back tenfold. It really does. If you put yourself out there and communicate with people on a face-to-face level, it's integral to your life. Ditch your phones for a couple hours a day. Seriously, the minute you ditch your phones and your iPads and your computers and stop watching the news, it is not there to inform you. Just get out and live your life. And the minute we start all doing that is the minute the government's going to shake and go, oh shit, how do we keep up with these guys now? Because it's time for us. It's time for us to start kicking ass, man. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to leave yous. Wendy's up soon, so this will be fun. So thank you very much. See you later.